Hey everybody, it's Rob from Hypop and welcome back to another video. In this one, we're getting an early look at a brand new unit from Zhiyun, the M20 C and the M20 LED fill lights. So I have with me two brand new lighting units from Zhiyun. We're getting an early look at some new ones here. This one is the M20 C and this is the M20. Now these two LED lights, they're brand new released at the time of filming. They're not even released yet to the public. However, we're getting an early look here since we have previously reviewed some of their products. We obviously specialize a lot in lighting reviews. And this one is an exciting unit for us because, as we know from previous Zhiyun models, they've continued to innovate in this new category for them, the lighting category, previously with the moleless lights, the G60, the X100 and the G200. Now we have another light here that's slotted into sort of the smaller compact LED market, the Zhiyun M20 C and the M20. These two models here that I have with me are the combo model. So you can see there it says combo. And if you're familiar with Zhiyun's product range, they typically have a standard version and also a combo version with all the inclusions. So let's take a closer look at the higher end model here, the RGB light, the M20 C. So opening up the box, first thing we have is the lighting unit, and there's a few attachments on here, so I'll show that shortly. Carry bag, and of course a charging cable, a USB type A to type C charging cable. If you wanted to take a closer look at what's included, they also have it on the side here. Now having a look at the lighting unit itself, first impressions are that it's tiny for what it is. So it's rated to be a 20 watt LED light. This particular model, the M20 C, is an RGB version and it has a lux rating or an output rating at 0.5 meters of 1920 lux. So a lot of output, especially for its form factor. Now the thing with the new model here, you can see it actually has the light model encaged in its own sort of caging system. And you can see that caging system actually has all the different cold shoe mounts. So there's two at the top here and then one on the side. So there's three in total. It has the cold shoe mounting plate here, so you can slide that onto a camera hot shoe. And you also have a 1/4 inch thread at the bottom there for mounting onto stands. This caging system is actually magnetic. So the back here, you're able to actually just attach that onto a piece of metal. So similar to other compact LED lights. This here is separate to the unit itself. And what you'll notice on the unit is there's actually no 1/4 inch thread mounting points all around the ends, because essentially what they're doing is making you use the caging system. Now this caging system definitely has its pros and cons. Obviously a lot of lights in the market in this compact space have all those mounting points all attached. But what that's allowed us to do now is to make this light as compact as possible. You can see it's smaller than the size of my palm here, and nice and compact, high output, and also with some features that they've added in terms of heat dissipation and also the cooling system, which they're calling their Generation 2 cooling system, that allows them to reduce the thickness of the heatsink and also have that fan in there to ensure that heat dissipation is really good with this particular unit. Because it's reduced in size, you can see they've got the caging system that allows you to mount a whole bunch of different attachments. So it's really easy to use. All you need to do is actually just slide up that latch there. That opens up, you fit your light in and you close and it clicks, and you know that's all locked into place. Now you have a complete caging system here. You can put other things such as a microphone. You can actually have multiple lights if you wanted, all connected up here. This caging system is made of plastic, but the great thing about it is on the front here, you can see there's some magnetic contact points there. And those magnetic contact points allow you to use the accessory system here. And this accessory system is, you can see has the diffuser, and you can see that clicks on just like that. You also have the honeycomb grid, clicks on like that. And lastly, the barn door, just like that. So it's a really quick and pretty much an express way on adding your lighting attachments if needed. So you can use all three at once, or you can just use individual ones if you need to. So yeah, essentially it's a really convenient way to add your modifiers. So I have the M20 C mounted onto a small desktop stand here. For those of you that are wondering, this is the Spectrum 43cm light stand. And the light itself, you can see, is attached to the cage. So that's what's allowing me to mount it directly to this light stand here. And in terms of its features, the light has 1950 lux output at 0.5 meters, as previously mentioned. And this light does have all the features you'd expect from a compact LED light, such as the RGB function. It also has an HSI function, so you can alternate between the RGB or HSI if you really want to fine tune what color you want from the light. On its CCT mode, you can go from 2500 Kelvin to 10,000 Kelvin. And you also have the ability to shift it with, change the settings for the green magenta color shift directly on the light itself. So you're able to control it via the onboard dials here. You've got the two dials, the left and right side, the left being able to toggle through the different menu types, and the right being able to turn and increase and decrease the intensity or changing the values of the color temperature as well as the RGB values. You do have the ability to control this via Bluetooth with their ZY Vega app, and that's great because you're able to pair this up now or configure a lighting configuration with a whole bunch of lights, whether you have multiple lights like this, or you're using one of their other MOLIS lights or the G60, X100 or G200 also. Now, if you have a look on the back here, you can see a rounded part here, which looks like a battery. And this battery here is not detachable. It's all built in and it's a cool kind of design feature. Now, this battery here allows you to operate the light at 4300 Kelvin at 100% for 40 minutes in total. Obviously, reducing the output will give you more time in usage in terms of a full battery charge. So operating it at 50%, you'll be able to operate for about an hour and 20 minutes, and even more so up to about 3 hours when it's down to the 25% and even lower values. Now, just jumping on how to control the light with the onboard controls. Firstly, you just go to press and hold down on the power button there, and you can see the lights turned on. Currently, I've just got the diffuser magnetic panel on the front, and straight away you can see the CCT mode, which has dimming, and you can control that in 1% increments down to from 0 to 100%. Then pressing, and you can cycle down with the left button here, and you can control the CCT. So you've got 10,000 Kelvin there, all the way up to, or down to 2500 Kelvin, so an orange. And then as mentioned, you've got the green magenta color shift here. You can go from +10 to -10, and it'll be more obvious on the cooler color temperatures there. So you can really fine tune the CCT mode there. And when you press down, it's gone to the HSI mode, so selecting the percentage of the dim for the, and then there we got the hue, so selecting the hue value as well as the saturation. So ensuring the saturation firstly is at 100% if you're wanting to get the full color there of that particular hue. And as you cycle through from the 0 to 360 degree values, you can see the colors are changing there as we're going through. And obviously you can reduce the saturation or increase the saturation, nearing to basically a cool light there if you're going to the lower saturation numbers. Then of course you've got the RGB values, so if you've got some preset RGB values that you know, you can adjust these accordingly. So whether we're adjusting the RGB, so you can see there, and then lastly is the dim. So let's change this. There you go, we've gone to a yellow. So if we remove all the presets there, so let's get rid of R as well, and let's increase the green. So you can see that that's more of a solid green. And then from there, you can obviously control the dimming function also. And then of course, we've got the FX mode here. So you've got CCT loop, you've got police car, and you have really some fine-tuning available here in terms of the effects. So you can control the dimming, control the speed, and then also control the color of the police here. So police car feature. So you can see it's red, or you can go blue, or you can go red-blue, which is perhaps a bit more realistic there. And then of course the music mode. So you can see as I'm speaking to it, it's changing and changing its pattern, changing its color, and you can control all of those features too. So the number as well as the colors that come up for the patterns. Lastly is a menu there which has the Bluetooth reset. So if you've paired this to a device previously, you're able to Bluetooth reset that in case you're wanting to pair this to a new device. Then just holding down that button to switch off. Now one thing I did notice when turning this on is when you go to press the on button, there is a safety feature on this light too. So let's just try and get that working. There we go. So single press and then long press is what it says. So that's a safety feature. Obviously you don't want to drain the internal battery here if it's in a bag and then one of the buttons mistakenly gets hit and it gets turned on and then you go to use it and there's no battery because it's been on that whole time. So that's a great safety feature there to have. Obviously you're able to control this all via the app, which is a lot more convenient, especially if you have a smartphone device or a tablet able to control that. And then of course adding all the different attachments here. So I've already got that diffuser on there. I can attach the honeycomb grid and also the barn door if I'm wanting to direct and cut the light a little bit more rather than have it spread out in a wide direction. So I just wanted to show you my fill light here to the side because Zhiyun market this light here as a fill light. So we'll be able to use this light to fill in the side here, and I usually use a larger panel just like this. This is just basically a studio light, one that I can plug in. This is the newer NL200A, and it's a 30 watt light, it says, and it has an illumination of 900 lux at 1 meter. So it's quite similar in terms of its output because this is rated at 1950 lux at 0.5 meters. So at half that distance, it's double the strength. So it's roughly the same, but you can see it's quite a large panel here. There's no sort of mounting points here for a modifier. So I wanted to see how this would compare to this larger studio light that we're using as a fill light. So I'll turn this one on here. We'll see how that fills in the shadows here on the side, and then we'll compare that to the M20C. So this is what it looks like without any fill light currently. And this is what it looks like with the newer light, the NL200A. This is at 5500 Kelvin and we're only operating it at 14%. Now this is the Zhiyun M20 C at 14% also. Now this is the Zhiyun M20 C at 100%. So one thing I will take note is that we've had to adjust the height of this stand, obviously because of the small compact size of the light. Had to adjust it so it's almost in line with my head here, so it's really working as a rim light. This is the M20 C with the diffuser plate on. Now this is the M20 C with the diffuser plate and the honeycomb grid. And this is the M20 C with all three attachments, the diffuser plate, the honeycomb grid, and also the barn doors. So you can see with that test there that the M20 C is actually quite comparable to a larger studio light such as this one here. And in terms of its size and form factor, you've got a lot more compact light here and one that's a little bit more versatile to use in many different scenarios. So overall, the M20 C is actually a very versatile light. One that you can use as a run and gun light. It could be literally your everyday light, one that can get you out of a pinch in low light situations, one that you can set up on a stand, a desk stand just like this if you need a simple light for even something as simple as a Zoom call. You can use it as a video or content creation light to mount on a hot shoe on top of your camera. You can use this as part of a larger lighting configuration, using it as a fill light as demonstrated earlier. You have all these different attachments that allow you to cut the light, shape the light any way that you need to. You have the ability to obviously use those RGB and HSI functions, so it also has the color modes there. You've got the effects. You've also got this caging system, so you're able to mount other things such as a microphone here for a whole setup in terms of a video camera rig. And you've also got it available in the combo here and in just a color temperature version if you're not wanting the RGB functionality there of this particular light. Overall, it's really a great addition to the range here from Zhiyun, producing more lights as part of their sort of new endeavor into this lighting category. Me personally, I feel like the light is really competing with other RGB lights on the market, ones that we've seen from the likes of Aperture and Godox. So I feel like it's a really good entry there, and one that's really filled a gap in Zhiyun's current range. So for more videos just like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell to be updated of any new content we release. Leave a like on the video if it's helped you. Feel free to leave down in the comments section below your thoughts, or if you have any questions about the Zhiyun M20 C light. Follow us on socials, the links are down below, and visit our website, hypop.com.au. Thanks for watching.